Hi and welcome to this week's Torah. In this week's Seder, Pashas Ki Savo, we are reminded by Kadosh Baruch Hu that Hayom Hazeh, on this day that God has now finished giving you all the Torah, He makes a covenant together with the Jewish people that they should keep the mitzvahs and that they should choose God as their God and that God will choose us as His nation. And the Torah tells us, Hayom Hazeh, on this day, to which Rashi comments, B'chol Yom, on every day, Yu B'einecha Kechadoshim. Every single day, the mitzvahs should be in your eyes like they are new. The question is, how do you ensure that the mitzvahs feel new every single day? They don't feel new every single day. I've done so many times before. I've done other mitzvahs so many times before. Shabbos comes every single week. Rosh Hashanah, however old you are, that's how many Rosh Hashanahs you've had. How do you ensure that there's a freshness, that there's a newness in your mitzvah every single day? And I think that's part of the struggle you have with many things, because relationships need renewal. Friendships renewal. All these things, even your job needs renewal. How many years can you do the same job again and again and still feel happy and still feel content and still feel that you're doing something and it's productive? And so therefore the question is much greater even than Torah. And the answer is you need to find new angles, and you need to find a way to make it relevant and keep on making it relevant for yourself. If it stops becoming relevant in the way that you're doing it, instead of ignoring it, instead of saying, okay, so it's less relevant, but if it becomes less and less relevant, at one point it becomes irrelevant entirely and you won't be doing anything. And that's terrible. Instead of letting things move in that direction, instead of letting things become irrelevant, we need to find ways, whether it is with davening, starting to find more meaning in davening. If you don't understand what the words mean, maybe start looking into the words. If you do understand what the words mean, maybe there are alternative explanations. If Shabbos starts to become boring for you, try to find ways to spice it up to make Shabbos more exciting, whether it is with better food, whether it is with better drink, whether it is with bringing more meaning into your Shabbos. And in anything in our lives, we need to find ways to change things around, to spice them up, to make them feel fresh and to make them feel renewed and having a vigor. And that is really what the Torah is telling us. B'chol yom yu b'einecha kechadoshim. Maybe not every day will you feel that they are fresh, but you should feel every day that if they're not fresh, then let me find a fresh way to do it. Let me find another way to make them more exciting. It's not going to happen on its own. They might not be exciting. Maybe the first time, the first 10 times, 20 times, 100 times that you do it, it'll be exciting. But at one point or another, it ceases to be exciting. And then it's up to you. It's up to you to find those ways, to find the ways to make it that much better and to make it that much more meaningful. And if you find them, then it will become more meaningful. And it will feel like a renewed vigor, a renewed perspective on this. And that's Hayom Hazeh. That's this day. Look for that renewed perspective. Now with Yom Tovim coming up, you say to Hashem, next year things will be different. Next year things will be better. Next year things will look a little bit different. And that little difference that you make makes a massive difference. And it can mean the difference between God saying, not such a Shana Tova, and maybe a much better and even greater Shana Tova. Wishing you all a Shana Tova.